Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, February 26th. Quite an active weather pattern is setting up for the next week to 10 days or so. It will include some threats for snow in the Mid-Atlantic region, some cold air outbreaks. Quite an interesting way to end the month of February and to begin the month of March. Today actually will turn out to be a relatively quiet day here in the Mid-Atlantic region. The pressure gradient that dominated the weather scene for the last couple of days in the northeastern part of the country has relaxed today. High pressure has moved in, and the result will be much calmer winds today with mostly sunny skies. It will be a cold day here in the Mid-Atlantic region, but high pressure is really dominating the scene right from the northern plains into the Mid-Atlantic region this morning. And notice the pressure gradient, the isobars are tightest this morning over New England. Winds have died down quite considerably in the overnight hours, and again, today will be a relatively calm day with plenty of sunshine. Colder than normal temperatures, highs generally in the 30s in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Still a lot of action going on out in the western U.S., including another powerful storm headed for the northern half of California over the next couple of days. Well, it definitely looks like an active weather pattern for the next 7 to 10 days or so, and we'll first take a look at the upper level pattern going forward. I'm using the Canadian model from last night, 0Z. I believe the Canadian model and the European model have a better handle of the situation that could develop over the upcoming weekend into the early part of next week as compared with the GFS or the FV3 version of the GFS. Let's take a look at the upper level pattern going forward here with a lot of players on the field and kind of a fast moving flow from west to east, so it's hard to pinpoint the timing of some of these features in the upper part of the atmosphere. But let's move forward here from last night. Now here we start the day on Tuesday morning, and again, not much activity here in the Mid-Atlantic region. High pressure is dominating the scene here, but over the next 24 hours or so, this wave of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere by early tomorrow will be situated over the western Great Lakes, and this will basically result in Clipper-like weather with a snow band, an area of snow crossing the Great Lakes into the northern part of the Mid-Atlantic region and the northeast U.S. It looks like it could throw some snow as far south as around the Pennsylvania Turnpike or so tomorrow night. A better chance certainly in New York City, very little chance in D.C. The northern suburbs of Philadelphia, let's say Bucks County for example, certainly can see some snow shower activity from this first wave tomorrow night. New York City can even get a small accumulation, maybe even a period of steadier snow tomorrow night. Again, that's up in the New York City metro region. Then that moves on by, and here we are now by Thursday morning. Another wave here showing up here Thursday morning in the middle part of the country. That heads north and east and certainly can result in a little bit of snow Friday morning in D.C., Philadelphia, even New York City. This is really late Thursday night into the morning hours on Friday, and certainly can be mixed with sleet or rain at times, especially south of the Mason-Dixon line. Again, this is late Thursday night, early Friday morning. Something to monitor for the end of the work week. Will not be a major system because, again, it's basically a fast-moving system, but certainly can see some accumulating snow in the Mid-Atlantic region early Friday. Then we move on past that, and look, another wave of energy here by later in the afternoon on Friday going into Saturday morning, and this could produce some rain in the area during the early part of the weekend. Here we are on late Friday night, early Saturday morning, right in here. And notice, even more energy in the upper part of the atmosphere as we move forward here. Now, by the time we get into Sunday, another wave of energy slides across the country from California into the middle part of the country, and that could very well result in some moisture trying to scoot up along the eastern seaboard Sunday night time frame. This is where there's kind of a pretty substantial disagreement amongst the computer forecast models right now. The Canadian model, we'll see in a moment, at the surface, has some precipitation coming northward along the eastern seaboard, as does the Euro. The American models, the NOAA models, do not at this particular time. But I think it's something to watch for late in the week, and we're talking here Sunday night time frame. This is occurring at the same time colder air is moving in from the northwest. So something we'll have to watch for, a threat of snow Sunday night time frame. Then we move forward into the early middle part of next week, and notice this strong upper level feature drops south and east into the U.S. here, and this is now by the middle part of next week. This certainly raises the prospect of a coastal storm by the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame of next week. Again, a much more impressive upper level feature in about a week or so can result in a coastal type storm Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, several days away. So a very active weather pattern over the next week to 10 days. Now let's take a look at the Canadian model's surface forecast maps going forward here. Again, high pressure is edging into the Mid-Atlantic region. The pressure gradient that was over, the tight pressure gradient that was over the Mid-Atlantic region yesterday has pushed off to the north and east. Much calmer conditions today with plenty of sunshine. Let's move forward here. And here we go. By early Wednesday morning, a clipper-like system crossing the Great Lakes with snow. Cold high pressure situated in the northeast U.S. And for the most part, the precipitation shield with this clipper-like system stays north of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Again, best chance in the Philadelphia metro region will be places like Bucks County, maybe upper Montgomery County, late tomorrow night. Certainly New York City has a shot at a period of steadier snow, maybe even some small accumulations late tomorrow night. South of the Mason-Dixon line, looks like precipitation will miss you. We'll stay north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. Here we go into Thursday morning. That wave moves on by, kind of a break in the action for Thursday. But here comes that next system we were talking about that crosses the middle part of the country, comes into the northeast late Thursday night, early Friday. Again, it could be a mixed precipitation period in the D.C. metro region, but some snow, even some accumulations possible, even in D.C., but especially north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, late Thursday night, early Friday morning. Not a major system, but it can produce some snow as early as Friday morning in the I-95 corridor region. Then we move on into the early part of the weekend, and yet another weak system could throw some rain, maybe even some snow mixed in upstate Pennsylvania, for example, southern New York, late Friday night, Saturday. Probably high temperatures in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor in the 40s on Saturday, again with some possibility of some rainfall. Then colder air starts to move in by Saturday night and Sunday, all backed up by very strong cold high pressure across the northern plains. And we'll have the potential for some moisture moving in Sunday night, early Monday. Again, this is several days away, and definitely some disagreements amongst the computer forecast models. It looks to me like there will be a lot of moisture down across the southeast U.S., and it will make two attempts to ride up northward along the east coast. The first attempt will be early next week, Sunday night, early Monday. Whether or not that succeeds is still a little early to say. The Canadian certainly has it successfully pushing northward, and then another attempt by the middle part of next week with that more vigorous upper level feature that we saw a moment ago. And here we are, the Canadian model, and even the European have some accumulating snow in the Mid-Atlantic region. Sunday night, early Monday time frame turns out to be a pretty decent storm by these particular models, which I do believe is a reasonable scenario here. Then we have more moisture here by Tuesday or so. At the same time, that vigorous upper level feature drops across the Great Lakes. This too will make an attempt to ride up the eastern seaboard. Let's say Tuesday night, Wednesday time frame of next week. Very likely could be cold enough for snow for that as well. Let's end up here during the day on Wednesday with a coastal storm. More than a week away, though. We still have several days to iron this out. Very cold air moves in for the early part of March. No doubt it will be well below normal for much of next week in the eastern half of the nation. It looks like that colder weather may continue into the second week of March as well. So a very active weather pattern over the next week to 10 days or so. The first system that we have to monitor is like an Alberta clipper that will drop southeastward across the Great Lakes later tomorrow, throwing some snow showers, maybe even a period of steadier snow up across New York City. Probably snow showers confined to the northern suburbs of Philadelphia and points north of there late tomorrow night. Then another system could throw some snow into the Mid-Atlantic region early Friday. And then we'll have to watch for Sunday night, early Monday, and the middle part of next week. So that's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.